Well, good afternoon, everybody. I shall try and be brief with this. I've made other videos on the subject of UFOs and all that sort of thing. I'm putting a picture of the Stanton Friedman here as a sort of in memorial, shall we say. He died a few years back, actually 2019. But the reason I'm doing so is because he studied the Roswell, New Mexico UFO crash of 1947, and has proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was an alien craft that crashed, and some of the bodies of those who died were removed, and all the pieces and debris, shall we say, of the crash were removed, and he interviewed a whole series of surviving witnesses. And I think this must have been in the 60s that he began really working on it. No one can argue with me whether it's the 60s or 70s, but the people were around at the time, and he did a lot of research into the subject. But that's not what I'm really talking about as such here, because you can type in Stanton Friedman Roswell and you'll get some good documentaries and lectures that he's given over the years and so forth. Now he has, as I say, passed away and can't see what is going to happen. I understand that will be on the 1st of June, or sometime in June anyway, if not slightly earlier, but there's going to be a report, a full report about what the US government knows, and I think security agencies and Pentagon and so on, but what they know about UFOs, which they're rather strangely or whatever renamed UAP, unidentified flying phenomena. Now, all of that will come out, and the reason I'm talking about it right now is, and I am hoping that it's going to be as astounding and earth-shattering, shall we say, that it'll be all over the world's media and television and whatever, it'll be just everywhere, this report, and it will finally lift the lid on the subject, and all of the cover-ups and lies and everything else that have been going on for many decades, certainly since the 1940s, will be lifted, as it were. And no, they won't be able to say, well, we know that there are certain species of aliens out there and this and that. The other thing, they can't really do that, but they'll make it so perfectly clear that some of the craft are indeed under alien and therefore advanced civilizations control. How they arrive at Earth and so on is beyond their understanding, and how these craft can do some of the maneuvers that they've been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt of carrying out. And those who are interested can look up Tic Tac UFOs, where the incident in 2004 of the USS Nimitz, where a craft was filmed and seen on radar to drop from, I'm not sure it was 50,000 feet, but it was at high altitude, to 50 feet above the water. And believe it, I got a phone call. I'll get back to you. I'll ring you back up in a few minutes. Bye. That they dropped to 50 feet above the water in less than 1 second. Now, then they've also got films, and they're authenticated, and the US Navy has said these are completely authentic films from that era, and also from 2019. There's been given a fair bit of publicity about these triangular craft that are flying around over completely controlled airspace. Again, in this case, above US aircraft carriers. Now, they're not drones from China or Russia or anything else. They're able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they can maneuver and do things that no Earth-built devices can ever do. Now, this is all set to be revealed, as it were, at that time. Now, for anyone who thinks so, they might laugh and say, you know, how can they prove these aliens did and everything else and did all that? And, you know, little green men. Well, it's not little green men, actually. But anyway, they won't be able to at this stage, I'd say. But they will be able to say, well, these are alien craft, or a small number, a certain number of them are. And the ones we're talking about, which is these triangular shaped, sort of pyramid shaped, I guess you call them, craft, a strange craft in a way, and there's other ones called tic-tac shaped. And these craft, by the way, were estimated by highly trained pilots to be around the size of a 737, a good sized aircraft. Diving under the water and flying back out again into the sky. And also there's a report going around on photos taken by satellites of the Earth from space, quite a considerable distance from space, showing jet streams travelling. Now, jet streams only last 15 minutes to maybe maximum 30 minutes, but they show a jet stream running from the North Pole to the South Pole along the entire length of the Earth in the photo. So, what speed were they travelling at? Some people would say several thousand miles an hour, up to 50,000 miles an hour, believe it or not, and to leave that contrail. But there are many, many other cases that they will be discussing. And the reason I'm talking about it right now, incidentally, is because I'm a Christian, but I happen to believe that God filled the universe with life, and we're not going to be here now debating all of that, but it may be revealed at some point. But it's of concern because there are millions of Pentecostal Christians who are fundamentalists who believe that there's God and heaven and angels and all that, and there's earth and mankind and all the rest of it, and that's all there is, and the entire universe is empty. And one of our senior pastor at church thinks that too. But when this report comes out, I think there's going to be a lot of people amazed, gobsmacked, call it what you like, because it'll finally overturn the many decades of lies and cover-ups and all the rest of it on the subject. So it's going to be quite an amazing revelation, in my opinion, and a lot of people will be upset to hear that some of these craft are indeed alien craft, and they've overcome time and space, incidentally. And anyone who knows about the string theory will know what I'm talking about. They can literally fly from one part of the galaxy to another like an afternoon jaunt. So people who say, oh, you can't travel faster than the speed of light, they don't know what they're talking about. So I don't mind at all having civil and polite comments and discussion on the subject from all comers, as it were, whether you're a Christian, non-Christian, or anyone at all that takes an interest in the subject can debate this or discuss this with me. I'd be very, very pleased. So I just thought I'd put this little thing out there for you to think about and so forth. So thanks for viewing.